So Andy, what's been your view of the high street and the retail sector over the last few years?
Well, I think even before the last few years, it's very clear that retail is a very difficult industry. Even during 2004, 5 and 6, known as the consumer boom years, although there was more demand and more retailers entering the market, they weren't necessarily making more profits. And online really just added another channel to meet that demand. So it was no surprise in 2008, the economic downturn, that retailers were affected. A little bit of a surprise to us was how few of them actually went into administration, for example, in those early years as a result of the downturn. And I think there are a few factors linked to that. I think, first of all, a number of stakeholders were providing concessions, be it landlords or lenders. I think the other thing that a number of the retailers did was take quite early advice in terms of shoring up balance sheets. And we certainly work with numerous retailers looking at how they can save costs across the board, be it supply chain, tax costs, property costs, and that has led to some significant savings.
And for those retailers who are seeing some success, Andy, what techniques are they using to achieve growth?
I think it's no surprise at the moment. A lot of people consider that retail is a bit of a zero-sum game. For every success story, there's potentially an unsuccessful story. And this is evident from a couple of administrations like Peacocks and Game compared to some retailers like John Lewis and Burberry announcing record results. I think some of the key themes that we're seeing where those are having success are a number of groups where they are embracing multi-channel and really integrating that have done very well, recognising that today's consumer is very different than a couple of years ago. Another area where we're seeing a lot of success is in the value sector. Not everybody, but mainly the value sector doing well, and that comes down to the simple fact that consumers are more careful with their money. I think really outside of that, it's groups that are really coming up with products that are very engaging, very interesting. So this is particularly important where you've got discretionary spend. So a very good example of this is the Apple iPad. Record sales of a discretionary product during difficult times. So I think that's quite an interesting point. Although those that have the iPad say that they couldn't cope without them before.